I want to start with some basic definitions, but even before I get there, I need to give an apology to any grammarians out there. Strictly speaking, when we talk about data, we're almost always talking about in the plural, so we should be saying data are, but I'm often going to use the more colloquial data is, including right now when I say let's start by figuring out what data is. Um, so if we think about data and a specific data point, you can think about it as an atom of information or the smallest visible unit. So in this case, an individual data point is a singular thing. For example, if we looked at one cell in a spreadsheet, um, that might be cell C24, the number in it might be 42. That number in and of itself is not terribly useful. And we have lots and lots and lots of them, even in something like a spreadsheet, and many, many more in a larger database or data warehouse or something like that. So we've got a lot of them on their own, they're not very useful. If we stay with the spreadsheet metaphor and we think about what happens when we look at a row of information or a column of information collectively, um, I think of that information as being that sort of aggregated unit that's starting to get meaningful. So for example, a column of numbers in a spreadsheet might be telling us something like the sales for a company or the average temperature in the last month in a city. So that's giving us some information, but if we think about the average spreadsheet, we might have lots and lots of columns or lots and lots of rows. So again, it's probably more than we can cope with to look at every single one of those and try to get meaning, but we're kind of approaching meaning from there. What most people are really looking for when they talk about data and think about data are insights. I think of these as information that might be used to influence a decision or change a behavior. For example, if we can see that sales in one segment are greater than another, we might decide to focus on that segment. If we find that customers are more satisfied in one segment than another, we might change our behavior toward the dissatisfied customers. So the data is being aggregated and it's giving some information about what we should do in the future.